Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Best Friends Animal Society. You can help me help them help the animals by simply watching my stream and bringing your friends, because I'll be making a donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. You can also help them more directly by donating to our Twitch fundraiser here on Twitch. So that should be there somewhere on the app or on the website, and you just click on that and donate. So please do so if you're able. Today is Wednesday, which means it's time for illustration work, and as you can see, we are going to continue digital work on my Summer Gryphon greeting card illustration. I actually have opened all of the other seasons. This is the final season. I'm so excited. I've been working on this project for 2-3 years, and we've got the spring, winter, autumn, and now summer. There are a few things I definitely know I want to do. One is, I'm not sure if you can see here, we can show this. Yes, so watch the background, like right here in the middle underneath the griffin. I'm going to turn this layer off. Boom! Actually, it's a lot more obvious when I turn it off than I thought. But I'm definitely going to add some sort of pattern, because I have done this in all of these. So in the winter griffin, it's these snowflakes, which when they're on there, you don't really notice them. But when you take them away, you're like, oh. And actually, I feel like it looks less complete. It makes it feel like everything is disjointed, and put that layer on there and it just feels like it comes together. Here we have the same thing, the leaves. And it does the same thing. It sort of softens the whole thing and brings it together. So I definitely want to do that. There was another thing I wanted to do, though, to try to get a little bit more perspective. Because as it is, the foreground, so we've got two sunflowers here that I'm considering the closest to the viewer. Maybe this one is pretty close too, but this one is definitely bigger. These two are not standing out that much from these four here in the midground, and they're not really standing out that much from these three in the background. So it's going to be a big undertaking, and I'm not sure how much time it will take. But I want to create multiple layers, separate them so that we have these foreground elements on its own layer and the midground elements on its own layer, and then we'll just have the background, so that I can apply probably just a simple transparent layer of color or something like an overlay to help create some separation between the different grounds we have, so that it looks like it's going off into the distance instead of seeming so flat. It looks really flat right now. So to do that, I am going to move my keyboard and my mouse over to my right, pull my tablet monitor awesomeness into my lap. Forgot to get my little, wow, Jesus. I pressed the button on my keyboard with the handle of the drawer I'm trying to open. There we go. I need my little glove so that I can draw on my tablet without my hand sticking to it. And I wanted to say that we are in the middle of a thunderstorm. It's not too bad. It's just maybe like every 10 minutes or so that we get a big round of thunder, but we're actually forecast in in 1 hour. I haven't checked the updated forecast. Maybe it's already over. But we were forecast at the beginning of the day in about an hour to have thunderstorms. So either they're already here and doing their thing, or they're going to get worse later. The reason why I'm saying this is there's always the chance of a power outage or something. So that might happen, but we'll see what happens when we get there. So I'm gonna name this one foreground. Oh. No, we'll just name it foreground. I was thinking maybe it would be better to do the midground first, but we'll just do this. And what I'm going to do, first start with the lasso tool and do a general cut around what I want to be the foreground. And then we'll erase more precisely after this. We're just going to cut all this other stuff out. And I think I've ended up doing this kind of cutting and layering technique on most, if not all, of the other pieces in this series too. It's just so convenient to be able to do this. There. So we just want all this stuff off of this layer. Where's, which one's my delete button? This one. Boom! So we've deleted that. We can, this is deselect. So now we're just going to go in with the eraser and erase. Checking my settings. That looks good. This is not soft, is it? Yes, hard one. Okay, good. So we're just going to zoom in here. This is another one of those peaceful, meditative techniques that I like to do. I've been talking about it a lot recently. How there's probably some faster way to do it than what I'm going to do, which is just slowly erase away. But I take pleasure in erasing. This is fun, so I'm not really that interested in hurrying it up just for the sake of hurrying it up. There's not really any reason to try to cut every single corner I possibly can. My fans on my PC are already starting to ramp up. You don't have to worry too much if you're doing this kind of technique about super precise erasing, or worry about, should I erase this? How far should I go? Because it's still going to be all on top of each other and you won't hardly even be able to tell, especially once it's printed. Alright, these are from this one behind, so I'm going to just completely get rid of this. Ooh, the fans are picking up. Let's save real quick. I haven't done too much yet, but with the possibility, well, a greater possibility than usual, because there's always a possibility of a power cut for whatever reason. Someone could drive into a electric pole or something, you know? Anyway, with a storm, there's always a greater chance. Usually, I think, because a lightning strike or wind gust could knock down a tree branch, which would take out a power line. Anyway, let's try to save more often than usual today. Because of that, I'll do my best to remember. I'm always changing the size of my brush. When we've got this like big area like this, let's just use a bigger brush. But then when we get closer, it's a lot easier to be precise with a smaller brush. Oops. And Aoife is not in the puppy cam area right now because she's so scared of the thunderstorm. We only had about 3 real good thunders so far because I love thunderstorms. But they all carried on for like 30 seconds. Huge long thunders rattling the windows and stuff. So to help herself feel better, I guess she moved to a slightly different spot like 4 feet away. I don't think it's... Ooh, there goes another thunder. A little one, I think. Anyway, she's basically behind the camera on the hard floor instead of on her bed, but whatever helps her feel better. Chappie also doesn't like the thunder, but she just, as you can see, curled up into a tiny little ball on her usual bed. Chappie is the black dog, the one you can see right now in the bottom right camera there. Here's an area where we're going to have a little triangle. So these two rays come together here. And you can actually do this kind of thing physically too if you're willing to either cut your painting or make a nice copy and cut that. The only thing with that is it's a lot harder to get little... Did I just erase too much? Yeah, I did. To get these little areas like this, it's way harder. But you can make a much cooler looking piece if you're looking at it in person. It's so much cooler because the eye, generally, I mean, depending on your vision, but can generally tell, oh, these are different layers of paper, even if it's just a millimeter. And so it looks really cool to do that kind of thing. And you could put just like, you could even digitally change it like this with an overlay digitally and print that out, but then put it together physically. But I don't generally make my art to be final in physical form, at least outside of simple prints anyway. I don't make gallery art, really. Not meant for gallery display or for individual sale, you know, selling originals or something. So I'm not concerned about that. Just saying, there's all kinds of ways to get this technique. And the different ways have their own unique features. This is a lot of erasing though. My arms are getting a little tired already. It's weird, it's my elbow that's getting tired. Oops. It was too far in right there. actually really like areas like right here where I'm erasing next to. And the green paint has overlapped onto the gray paint of the feather there. And it's not meant to be there at all. But since that sort of just naturally happened, it looks nice to me. But when I'm coloring digitally, there's no natural interactions. There's no sort of just physics taking place. So I don't really like it when there's an accidental line somewhere, because all that means is that I drew too long and didn't stop, or, you know, it's not as satisfying. This is this. I'm like, oh wow, there's a little bit of green paint on there. Neat. I'm not complaining about nature of digital coloring though. The whole reason I use it on certain projects is because I like that clean look that you can't really get with physical media on the other hand. So that's why I'm a mixed media artist, because all these different options are awesome and I like to utilize them based on the project. And I've always been mixed media. So it, like even when I was a kid, I'd draw with a pencil. This is like the standard thing that so many people do. Draw with a pencil, ink it. It's because I think if you're inspired by animation, whether it's anime, Disney, Cartoon Network, whatever, so often the standard way of creating becomes sketch with a pencil, ink the lines with ink, and then color it in with whatever coloring media you have. Which for me, when I first really started getting into art, was colored pencils. And so I've always been mixed media. So it really blew my mind when I started encountering people, or just the idea of people, who call themselves a watercolorist. And they just like literally do not use anything but watercolor. Maybe they'll use like a pencil for sketch, but it has to be able to disappear into the watercolor by the end of the piece so that no one would be able to tell and stuff. And that is too restrictive for me. I think it's fine. I don't think that you shouldn't operate that way if that's what you enjoy. But to me, there's so much more that can be done when you're free to add things, or say you encounter a problem that can't be solved with that one media. But if you allowed yourself a little bit of ink, or a little bit of acrylic paint or something, and you could get the result you wanted, but no, you are an X artist and therefore it would be cheating or something. That's what I have encountered a lot, is people who define themselves by their media consider it cheating or something, or below them or something like that, to engage with another media in the same piece. And I don't like that kind of mindset. It's not conducive to creating. I do think limitations are conducive to a creativity, but I think they should be flexible. Flexible limitations. I think that kind of thinking also causes a lot of people to stumble. Because I've also encountered people who seem to feel like they must choose what kind of media artist they are. And then they get flustered because they seem to feel like they have to apologize. Especially like streamers. Art streamers, I've seen it. They're like, oh, I'm normally a blah 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 artist, but today we're working on this. And it's got this apologetic tone to it. You don't need to apologize for using a different kind of media. It's fun to use different kind of media. We're getting a few rolling thunders here. The fans on my PC are so loud right now, I don't know if they're getting caught on the mic at all. I hope some of these thunders are getting caught on the mic. It's pretty awesome. They're pretty quiet though, so I won't be surprised if they're not coming through. Oh, and the fans on my PC are ramping up yet again. Eva, why don't you go lay in your comfy bed? Let's lay in the corner because the thunder is scary. I'll definitely be coming back looking for any mist erased spots using my layer stroke technique when I'm done. I'm about halfway through erasing this layer. It doesn't take too long to do the whole thing like this. So I'd really love to finish this today and get Patreon postcards designed and then get started on the next project tomorrow. But like I said earlier, I'm not going to rush myself, so we'll just see what we can get done in these 2 hours today. Nice thunder. It's awesome. Thunderstorms. Well, this isn't quite my favorite weather. My favorite weather is a thunderstorm with rain. This is just a thunderstorm. There's not even that much wind. It's just thunder and sometimes I can see the lightning, but I can't even really see the lightning very much. Still, I'll take what I can get. As usual in Boise, it has just mostly been, well, it's mostly been sunny and or smoky from all the wildfires. That's what summer is for us now in recent years and probably going forward. You can't really go out and enjoy the summer because it's so terribly smoky. But not today, thanks to whatever front is bringing in this thunderstorm seemed to also clear out the smoke, and we had green quality air this morning. I was so happy. I went on a run. I did a Marvel Move run for the first time in a long time. I did the next Daredevil episode. It was so wonderful, so happy, and also it was really cool, so it was perfect running weather. It was absolutely marvelous. And it's really nice, too, now. It's later in the day, but it's not too warm. And I love it when it's not sunny. I love it when it's overcast. It's so nice for my eyes. So I am in the best mood right now. Thunderstorms, overcast skies, cool temps. It's because autumn is transitioning now. Summer is transitioning into autumn at this very moment. It's amazing how these sunflower rays seem to lose their vibrance by removing the green next to them. So interesting. But it makes sense because the picture was looking so dull and sad until I finally worked on the background and added all this various color to it. It's actually starting to get a bit warm in here now. I think it's that typical stream time warmness that happens when my equipment is working hard and there's 3 living beings in the room, the door's closed, all the lights are on. Well, not all the lights. I don't need as many lights when it's digital work. I just need enough light that I wouldn't get a headache from looking into the screen for 2 hours. I need enough ambient light. So I can actually show what I am going to do once I finish erasing this layer. Since I've been erasing so long, I feel like I should show the reason why, so it'll be more interesting for everybody watching. So once I get to that point, I'll create my overlay layer. But just as an example, because I don't really want to finalize that overlay until everything is all ready to work together. So we'll have 2 different overlays. One to overlay the midground, which, depending on how we do it, may also overlay the background. And then we'll have another overlay for the background. I'm also thinking these overlays, I want them to be warmer. So when I was looking at my other files for spring, winter, and autumn, autumn is warm enough because it's all red because of the autumn leaves. Spring and winter are quite cool, which I think makes sense. But I want summer to look pretty warm. So that's what summer, most defining thing for me for summer is it gets hot. Let's save. Haven't saved in a minute. Haven't heard a thunder for a little bit, but you never know. I should kind of want to look up whether, I want to grab my phone real quick and do it. Look up whether the weather forecast has changed. It still says, actually, it's, I mean, maybe it just hasn't updated, but it looks exactly the same. It says 80% chance of thunderstorms starting at 3, which is in half an hour. And then even more thunder, 70% chance, and then the little icon is, instead of being partially sunny with rain and a thunder bolt, or lightning bolt, at 4, which is when my stream ends, it just has 3 lightning bolts. So it looks like it's gonna get even crazier later. And then at 5 it has rain. So excited. I'm so glad it's not going away. At least according to that. Maybe it hasn't been updated. Because that looks pretty much the same as it did this morning. Oops. Oh no. I did a little mark there. Almost done, just a little strip here. Thunder, thunder. Save. Boom. Okay. So now I wanted to give an example. So we'll put midground overlay. I wanted to help show why I'm doing this, what my end goal is here. So I'll just turn on this one, which will be the midground in a second. So we're going to have this, let's put it at 25%. I'll probably even turn it down from there, but so let's choose maybe kind of color. Let's pick a warmer one. Like I said, I wanted it to be warmer light. Yeah, well, let's try this. That looks pretty nice. So we're just gonna fill this layer. So you can see what I'm going for. This is too strong. This might be all right for back here. But basically I'm trying to create a little more sense of atmospheric perspective, and you can see how that happens. By erasing away everything else, it then creates distance between what's closest to the viewer here and this stuff that's farther away. Of course, this is way too strong, and we might not only do opacity, I often do the actual overlay, or maybe lighten. There's also like soft light, but we won't worry about that now. I just wanted to give an idea of what I'm trying to do. This one is going to be midground. So here I'm just going to do the same thing that I did with the foreground, but I'm going to erase away everything around basically these 4 sunflowers. So we can start like before with a general, oops, a general lasso of that background. Okay, now I'm going to press Shift. Which key is that? Okay, Shift. And grab some more stuff, so we'll grab from over here, I think. I have to think harder about what I want to erase here because there's some background showing through right next to and in between all this midground stuff. Ooh, we'll just select this and select in here. Here and in here. There's a few more places I can grab. Little triangle there. And I guess if I'm going that far, I should do down here too. Alright, that's everything I'm going to grab with the last one. No, wait, no, I can get these couple triangles. Whoop, there. Now, where's my delete key? It's at the bottom here. I've got my little remote that goes with my tablet that has these keys mapped to it. But I always have to look at my, what is it called? I guess it's a map. It points to which key is which thing. I had to make it because I can't remember. Okay, so now we're just going to go in and do what we did with that foreground layer. Erase away. Let's start on this side this time so it's different. I'm going to erase even down here. Oh, I'm on the brush. Eraser, that's what I want. Oh, I just remembered I wanted to do this. Layer style, stroke. Yeah, look at all those pixels I missed. So let's make this a crazy color that's not part of this piece. It's great. Fuchsia color. Zoom in, and we're just going to clean up these pixels that I missed. You gotta look for like little bumps. Like right here. There's this little bump here. That means I missed a pixel right in the crotch there. The Crotch of the Sunflower Ray. That's a weird book title. Oh wow, look, there's even missed pixels up here from the selection. Let's get all of this stuff. It may not end up mattering, but sometimes I find that it does matter when you leave this little teeny tiny strip of pixels undealt with. There we go. Zoom out and make sure. Yep, that looks nice. Okay, we'll turn this off for now because I'm definitely going to want to use it again. Back to the midground. And I realized that I can just erase down into this area. Oh, did I actually erase this part? Oops. Oh, look, I found a little triangle that I missed here. Let's get that. Right here. Any more little spots like that? Okay, I think I got them all this time. Guess we'll turn this effects back on. Okay, doesn't look like I missed any pixels there. Let's save. And now for real, going back to the midground. What I was saying, since I've already erased this line here, I can just erase into that as I'm working on the midground, and then that way we won't have competing pixels to be the edge. There you can see how that erased away. It looked like I had erased to the same line as I had on the previous layer, but nope, I had not erased as far. This is nice because we'll be able to get a little bit more separation between the background and these stems too, which I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to make sure the stems didn't just get lost in the background, which is okay if they fade into the background, but I don't want them to be completely gone. Seem to be getting a little bit more breezy outside. Maybe my grand thunderstorm is truly on its way. So I'm going to purposefully erase into the area that is now on that separate foreground layer. Here are some more triangles to tackle, but not this one because this is the stem. I'm going to keep that one. too much right there. Just barely get that. There we go. And here, I don't want to erase away this griffin's tail peeking out from behind these rays. I don't really have much to say as I'm erasing away here. Nothing that I haven't already said this stream. Haven't heard a thunder in a little bit. I think this is going to take a lot longer than the foreground layer did. There are way more nooks and crannies to address. It's getting pretty warm in here. I'm starting to sweat, actually. I think I'm going to turn my little fan on under my desk. Whew. Yep, before I started streaming, I was cool enough to be wearing my hoodie. But I knew I'd get warm when I started streaming, so I took it off even before I began. And now, it's still too hot. Ah, it's so nice. A little fan under my desk. It's so effective. That's on the lowest setting. Oh, there's a little hair on the painting. I have to digitally get rid of that. Guess I could do it right now. You just got to... What is it? Oh, this one. What is this called? Spot Healing Brush Tool. Oh, it doesn't work like that. Thought I could circle it. Okay, you don't circle it. You draw on it. Whoop. There, boom, gone. Here's another one. Boom. Oh, and another one. These are those little hairs that during the physical media portion, I'm always trying to pick them off the page. There's actually, now that I'm looking for them, they're all over the place. And I'm pretty sure that most of them are actually from the paintbrushes. I often call them pet hairs. I've never had them DNA tested, you know, so I don't know if these hairs are from the brushes or from my pets, but they're always so thin and short, I'm pretty confident that they're actually from the paintbrushes. Well, since we're doing this, let's do the foreground. Around for any of these. Oh, here's some. Whoop, whoop. Better turn this midground off. I guess this will be a thing I do after I finish erasing, because there's no point in doing it and then erasing it. This is the part that I call cleanup. Cleaning these little hairs off the piece. It's probably just fine to leave them, but I learned craftsmanship from my high school art teacher, and it's stuck with me ever since. The concept of craftsmanship had never been really introduced to me before, but she actually graded on craftsmanship. She wanted us to clean up stray thumb marks and make sure that the image we turned in was not crumpled up just because we didn't take care of it. You know, that kind of stuff. And I do feel like it adds a lot to the final piece. Even if no one would notice what you cleaned up or what you took care to avoid, it does show through. So that's what this is to me. This is craftsmanship. I'm not sure if this is a hair. Oh, let's tackle this thing. Whatever this is. Oh, I left a streak. Whatever that was. Not that. Alright, so I'll just try to remember to do that on the midground layer. So I'm going to go back to the midground layer. Resume erasing. Not getting distracted by stray hairs. Oh, but it's break time. Exactly. So let's save this. Yay. Alright, I'm going to stand up, walk around, stretch, give my eyes a break. I hope everybody else will take the opportunity to do the same. I will be back in 5 minutes. everyone, I'm back. I hope you all had a great break. I am ready to continue work on this Summer Gryphon illustration. Just picking up right where I left off. We have a little under an hour left of this stream. So, considering how much is left to erase to get this midground onto its own layer, I don't think we'll finish this today. But that's fine. We can work on it some more tomorrow. I feel pretty confident that we could finish it tomorrow. This is the biggest thing I wanted to do. Maybe I'll think of something else I want to do, but maybe not. Just getting these overlay layers in between the fore, mid, and background. Then adding a pattern layer to emphasize the season. And to be honest, I'll probably just do some leaves, like some deciduous tree leaves, some generic looking. Because winter had snowflakes, that's obvious. Spring had sakura blossoms, that's also obvious. Autumn had maple leaves, which also feels obvious. But summer, it's like, what thing would be flying around? I mean, maybe I could just have little puffs. That might be cute. Little puffs meaning representing seeds or pollen or something. Maybe like little suns. Well, I'll look around what brushes we can find in the Clip Studio Paint media library. After that, the only thing I want to do is just add one more overlay on the entire image to sort of unite all the colors. And if that doesn't make sense yet, it will when I get there, when I'm able to show it. Love these green gradients in the background. They look so nice. Even zoomed in on Photoshop. I already thought they looked nice when I painted them. I was just looking directly at the physical painting, but it's just so pretty. From darker green to yellow green to yellow. Nice smooth transition. I want to erase this little hole in the leaf. Oops, I erased a little bit too much right there. It's always a bit tedious doing this erasing stuff, and it's always worth it every time. There's even been times when I've erased like this to get things on separate layers for projects later using this same illustration, but for a different application than it was originally intended for. And then I wanted to make elements bigger or smaller, or only use one element from that illustration. I wanted to sharpen that little angle right there, just a little bit extra. Making progress, slowly but surely. Oh, there's a little triangle right here. What I was looking for, moving that around. Thought maybe there'd be something. Boom. Alright, let's finish this little spot here. Oh, maybe not that small of a brush though. Maybe a little bigger than that. Should I go back up to the top or keep moving down? Maybe I'll keep moving down. Okay, so this part is the background, this part is a stem. We'll work around that. Ooh. Okay. So there's the stem here. And a really dark background right here. Oh right, I wanted to erase two. I forgot I wanted to do that. I want to make sure to erase to this foreground stuff. Oops, a little overzealous right there. Yeah, so extra there. God, I wanted to do this. This just makes it cleaner, so that the layers aren't competing over which line is the end. Which line is the edge? So other areas where that might need to be done. Up right here. Because it just might look odd when I put these overlays on and one layer has the end of the edge going here, the other one is kind of different. Just looking to see if there's anywhere else that I need to do this. I haven't yet. Alright, so here I can just erase this real cleanly. Actually, it makes it really nice because I've already erased the foreground part, so I can just freely erase this background area without worrying too much about it. So we can actually do the same thing here, carrying it all the way out. Yay, convenient. But I want to save this leaf here, so I'm going to use that point. Here's the front edge of the stem. And this is actually super nice. I can erase real big. But I gotta be careful not to go crazy and end up erasing something I don't want to. Do that a little bit here too. cursor go? There it is. It didn't register when I put my stylus tip back down on the screen. Weird. Okay, let's finish up down here first. Oh no! Oh, I erased something that wasn't meant to be erased right there. Yeah. I erased this petal. That's easy enough to bring back, though. We're going to go to the midground. I'm glad I noticed that. We'll lasso this. Bring this petal back. I'm gonna go to edit, copy, then edit, paste special, paste in place, put it here on foreground layer. Let's turn midground off. So now merge down. So now that petal's back on there, and we just need to erase that little bit of line there. Yay! Wow, I'm glad I noticed that. So let's look at this. Alright, is that nice and clean? Okay, back to the midground. Oh, let me make sure I actually get on that layer, because this is what I wanted to do. So that every area that I would be erasing to the foreground layer edges has been dealt with. So that I don't have to remember again. Oh, here's one. Here's another one. Wait. No, I won't even be erasing here. There's no background there. Sweet. And this is part of the leaf, so no background there. Okay. I think now I can just go back to erasing this midground layer. Dang. We almost have just... Well, we have 34 minutes left. I was hoping at least to get these in-between overlays done today. But at this rate, I might not be able to. Should definitely have the erasing done, so we don't have to do any erasing on the background layer. So once we're done with this, that's it. think my thunderstorms are coming. They're supposed to be here by now. Had some nice thunders in the previous hour, but now is when there was party was supposed to really get started, and instead the sky looks like it's lightning, and we haven't had thunder for a long time now. I want my thunderstorms. Let's save. I haven't done that in a while. There we go. It's kind of hard to tell right here what is meant to be background and what is meant to be leaf. I think I got it. There's a whole bunch of little triangles I gotta remember to get on the head of this sunflower. I'm gonna go after those after I finish this little bit. Looking at these. Oh, let's make the brush size smaller. Need a tiny one right here. Even tinier one here. This side? Yeah, I guess right here. was imagining this part being this leaf. So we won't erase this or this. We'll start erasing back over to the left of those. Use a smaller brush to get a tighter point in the V shape here between these sunflower rays. Or as I said earlier, the crotch of the sunflower rays. My awesome book title. That's gonna be a book one day. I have no idea what it's about, but it'll definitely pique people's interest when they see it on the shelf in the bookstore. Oh, here's another little... Oh right, I wasn't going to do the midground yet. There's a little hair from a paintbrush on here. I wasn't going to clean those up yet until I finish erasing the background. There's some rumbling outside, but I can't tell if it's thunder or if it's just an airplane. It does sound a little more like an airplane or a jet. Oh, it's raining at least. Yay! I just noticed the rain's coming down on the rose bushes outside my window. Hooray! My favorite weather is here. I love the rain so much. Hasn't rained properly here in a long time. Summer is always super hot and dry and smoky. But summer is giving way. Autumn is coming in. Here I'm purposefully leaving a kind of rough edge to give texture to the back of this griffin's head. So that's what it's supposed to have. Alright, I'm gonna go. This is the last little bit here. Yay, we're getting really close to done with this. Use an even bigger brush. Tackle some of these big chunks. And go back in with a smaller brush for the precision erasing. Okay. Get me smaller brush back. In fact, oh, smaller than that. Oh, look at all the little brush hairs left over on the paper over here. There's so many. I wonder if it's because I love using the super thick and fairly textured watercolor paper. My favorite is cold press 300-pound paper. You can take a ton of water and it has a delectable textured surface. But I bet that texture, I bet that's why there's always a bunch of little hairs on my paintings and I'm always trying to pick them off when I notice them, but then there's inevitably some left over that I just digitally manage. So I guess it's inevitable. Just a tiny little bit left. Yay! Okay, so let's bring this effects layer down and turn it on. And look at that, tons of leftover pixels, including the same thing we had before around this edge. So look at that first, actually. Oh, let's make this brush bigger so it goes faster. Whee! Let's do the whole thing, because I'm sure it'll be over here as well. There we go. Okay, now cleaning up these little spots that I missed, because they're just so small you can't see them with your naked eye at this range. Looks like there's there. Yep, there were. Okay, come back up over this side. Oh, here's another one. You gotta look out for those little bumps along the lines. They can elude you. Right here. Oops, didn't get that one. There's another one. Hiding in the crotch. Here it's hard to tell because it's so small. That space is so small anyway. Look at that. Something there. That probably wouldn't have shown, but meh, may as well get it anyway. Yeah, this one's also so small, you can't really tell. Okay, let's zoom out and make sure I didn't miss anything. Alright, looks good. So now, let's see, I think I can put my tablet back up and bring my keyboard and mouse in front of me to do the next stuff, which is figure out how I want these overlay layers to look. Just gotta experiment and see how it turns out with the various different things that we can try. So we're gonna turn, oh no, actually I remembered I wanted to clean up. Okay, I'm gonna put this stuff back. I wanted to clean up those little hairs and stuff. A good reason to clean those up is that wait a minute. Okay, yes. This image has been scanned in at a very high DPI, 600 DPI. And that allows me to, if for whatever reason I decide I want to, print way bigger than the original, more than double. I think I can print 4 times as big and still have the same level of quality. It won't be pixelated or anything like that. But if I were to print this 4 times as big, these little hairs on it will become really obvious and maybe even distracting. So that's, some of these I don't know how much is hair and how much is like a weird watercolor edge. Either way, I feel like they're not adding to the overall scene, and if anything they might take away from it. Just going in here with a nice spot, what is it? Spot cleanup tool? What is it called? Spot healing brush tool. Yeah, going in here with that, touching up anywhere we're seeing those little squiggles. Can't tell if this is one. Well, it's gone now. This is definitely a hair. Oh, didn't get that part. Now this sunflower in the middle. Some of them are just like these little specks. I don't know what they are, but they feel out of place, so I'm cleaning them up. Other ones like this feel like they're just part of the paint, doing the paint, like this one. So I'll leave that. Let's look at the leaves. Oh, here's a couple. Oh, 10 minutes left. Well, as I've been saying today, my new mantra is no need to rush. So even if I can't finish the overlay stuff today, just pick it up tomorrow and it'll be okay. I'll leave that little spot. Sometimes I actually like to leave them just because it's interesting. Oh, here's one, but it's on the foreground. Shoop. Okay, I'm going to turn the background on. Check out those areas. Can't really see them on the darker paint, which is nice because even if they're there, they're blending in, so it's not a problem. I think that's actually a paint edge. We'll just leave that one. Here, I'm not sure. I think these might actually be. It's not cleaning them up. There we go. Yep, oh, forget it. Something about that, it's not cleaning up. Not sure what the deal is with these little spots. But we'll just leave them. Here's an actual hair though. When it doesn't take it away, I think that it's because it thinks it should be there. So this is like a smarter tool than the old. That's not that one should definitely go. Why is it not removing it? Oh, never mind. It's not working because I'm not on the right layer. I'm like, oh, maybe it's smarter than me. Nope. I'm not that smart either. There we go. Now we can clean this up. There we go. There wasn't one that I wanted to get rid of and I missed. Something I'm thinking about doing. Maybe I'll try it. This edge here I didn't paint far enough to the side. But if I just did this. Oh, close. Not quite, but it just smooths it out. I'll just leave it. I'd rather have that interesting rough edge there than that weird smooth edge it was making. This little spot there. Alright, if I see more, I'll get them later. Now for real this time. Picking up my tablet, moving it back. Keyboard back in front of me, mouse back in front of me. Let us work with these overlay layers for the next 6 minutes. Oh, let's also save. I haven't saved in a little while. So we've already got this midground overlay. Of course it's way too strong, so let's just try 10. It does make a big difference, but I feel like a different type of... Dang, I wish I could remember what these are called. It doesn't tell you when you just hover over it. Anyway, whatever this is. It's like blending mode or something. Lighten. Lighter color. Maybe the color I'm adding is too close. So what I'm noticing is there's not that much difference here between this yellow and this yellow, and that's what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, let's try changing the color. Go back to, actually overlay is what I normally like, but we'll go back to normal and change the color a bit. So maybe I need to do that definitely makes it different, but I don't know if I like that. Makes it really different, but maybe cooler is actually the way to go. I don't know. Don't really like it though. Okay, I'm gonna try pulling a color. Where's my eyedropper tool? Where's the eyedropper tool? Oh, here it is. Whoa, it's way the heck up there. Why are you up here? Can I move you down? Nope. Alright, it's way the heck up there. I'm gonna try pulling from background. Turn that back on and fill with this green color I picked. Oh, it makes it way darker. Makes sense. I chose a darker color. No, it's got to be a warmer color. So maybe if I choose orange. Oh, this orange color. I think I'm gonna have to figure it out tomorrow because it's taking me a long time. Oh, that's way too much. What if we do overlay with that? Oh. I still don't feel like I'm getting separation. It's just making the colors really different. Kind of like it though. Stronger. Copy this one. Put it down here as background. Wow, I'm typing to Japanese. There we go. So this is the reason why I erased both around the foreground and around the midground, so that we would double up the effect on the background. But this is way too strong. I don't like this at all. Yeah, we're losing that beautiful green color too. I wonder if maybe what I need to do is something less vibrant. More subtle, just white. Whitish color. To fade it out. This is really strong though. Whoa! Well, that guy goes way into the background when I do it this way. Soft light. Whoa! Soft light is kind of nice. What if we change this to that? I don't like how it's taking away from the background. We do hue. Well, that's interesting. Maybe that's more what I need. Saturation color. Hue is really nice for that. What if we do hue back here too? We do have a lot more separation going on. Well, let's save for now, because we are over time. That'll be it for me today, but I'll be back tomorrow. Let's see. Is there anybody streaming right now that we could raid? It looks like just Freebird is streaming. Let's see who all is streaming. We also have Yasmin Arts, who we raided the other day. Let's go see Yasmin Arts because she only has 3 viewers right now. So let's go say hi to her. Alright, opening a new Twitch tab. So that I go with the raid, so that I can easily go in there. There's raid. Oh, it's typing in Japanese again. / raid. Yasmin Arts. Right? Make sure I spelled it right. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Raid has started. So let me thank everyone for watching today, especially my lovely lurkers. I saw you there. I'll be back tomorrow, same time as usual, with more work, hopefully finishing this piece tomorrow. Hope to see you then. But the raid is ready to go, so let's go! Alright. Raid worked. Yay! So if you are still on my channel now or watching the recording on YouTube or Twitch later, that's it for me. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Thank you for watching.